Hello. All right. Wait, why is my controller not connected? What the hell? There we go. Perfect. I thought for a minute my battery is flat and I didn't realize it. That would have sucked. Right. So, I'm back with some Diablo 4, which is an interesting choice. It's really interesting. I'm kind of... The first few times that I tried Diablo 4, I couldn't quite get into it. And I think I kind of told the story as well the last time I played it online. But they've made some changes in Season 11 that I just think really clicked with me. And this is actually the very first time that ever in my time playing Diablo 4 that I actually managed to complete the season journey, and that I actually cared about completing the season journey, which I think is probably the more important bit, because they really nailed the just that one thing, like, oh, now I'm so close to this next thing, and then just when you're done with that, it's like, ooh, it's almost time for a world boss. And then you just finish the world boss, and you're like, oh, but now I just need this one item to do this one thing. So that loop has really kicked in. And I just think it's a lot more fun than it used to be. I still think Diablo 3 is my comfort Diablo. That's the one that I always go back to and that I really enjoy playing. But I've really enjoyed playing this one as well. The big thing that I'm trying to figure out now is I made a couple of mistakes with my gear. Some of these, I completely misunderstood how the new masterworking mechanic worked. So the way that it happens now, if we go here, and my face is actually in the way, but if we masterwork something, when you get it up to level 25, you get the option of masterworking one of your affixes. I did not realize that. So I took a bunch of my items. I think my boots are an example. Actually, the rings are probably an example. So yeah, these you can actually see... these don't have masterworking on them. I've got some masterworking on some of the others, which I remembered to do, and then I've sanctified all of them. But some of these I never did the masterworking, and then I sanctified them. But I've slowly but surely been replacing all of the gear as I get better ones. And that's really what I want to do today. So I'm not so much interested in pushing. What I do want to do is... I still need to level up a lot of my gems. Where's the gem? There we go. So my glyphs are not very high level. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to keep leveling my glyphs. And then I want to try and get some more gear, because I do still have a few pieces that I'm trying to replace. This, I think for the ideal necromancer build, there's actually, you want different passives on skills on this one. This one with Hellbent, Amplify, and Gloom is probably the best it's the best one I've had so far. But I don't think you actually want amplified damage. If I remember... I'm trying to remember now what the build is. What you actually want for this build. Ideally. I tried very hard to make my own builds, and I did fairly well up until a point, but eventually I just hit a point where I was pretty much just building what the meta is anyway, by accident. And then when I reached the point where I actually got a little stuck, I went to have a look at the builds, saw my build is there with one tweak, and then I started making that tweak, and then I managed to put 75. So I think it was really good. I managed to quite organically get to very much the same build. The two tweaks that they had was going one-handed with a shield, where I was still going two-handed. And then the other big one, I think, was... there's a beetle flying around in my room. That's fun. The other big change is they are using... what's the skill again? Where's my skill assignment? Skill assignment, skill assignment. Bone Prison, which I was not using, so leaning more into the crowd control side of things for the bonus damage, which I was not doing, so... But yeah, this is not... I enjoy minion builds. I've mentioned this before. Whenever a game lets me play as some kind of minion master or pet control class, that is usually what I will choose. I think I might... sorry, I'm a little distracted. I might need to bring the volume down just a little bit more, actually. I did check this beforehand and I thought it was okay. But it's actually a little bit loud in my ears, and now I wasn't looking at what I was doing. But yeah, so I really enjoy minion builds, and I suppose a part of it is probably because of having to deal with latency playing online games in South Africa. Offloading some of the thinking. Just offloading some control is probably the better way of putting it to the AI, which is typically not as affected by lag as I am, especially in my advanced age. It just helps a little bit, and I'm thinking that's kind of like where it started. Also, just like even in D&D, like I enjoy playing classes that have pets, or have ways of making pets, or have ways of controlling people and doing things, and I am lagging like crazy. Fun times. Oh joy. I might disconnect. What is going on right now? Give me a second. I need to... Whoa, that was rough. Okay. I'm not quite sure what just happened. I might just... Whoa! Again, what was that? I might just need to do a quick speed test to see what the hell is up, if this is just on their side. So let's check. Hang on. While that's running, okay, yeah, I'm not getting full speed, but it's not slow. Like, it should still be plenty for the stream to run fine. And it should be more than plenty for the PlayStation to do its thing, and for Diablo to do its thing. This is one of those things that still annoys me about these always online games. Like, when I'm playing something like The Pit by myself, surely that should be instanced, right? Like, why do... If I'm not in a group with other players, why does it need to be online and subject to latency? Yeah, it's giving me a poor connection at the moment. Man. It's been fine the whole day. Like, what the hell is going on now? Okay, well, I mean, we'll do what we can. I will try to stay out of the line of fire in most cases. Luckily, because this is a minion build, I do have some leeway. But because of the issues now, I'm not running through it as fast as I should. Which means that this is not going to be a very effective run. It's not going to be an effective use of my time. But also, if this is the lag that I'm dealing with, I'm really happy that I'm decided not to do some pit pushing. I've been playing too much Diablo 3. Not GRs, pits. Let's see there. Maybe just go back to where I can see chat. That's my bad. And in fact, ooh, come on, you can do it. You can die. All must serve the cycle. Come on. The biggest issue with this build most of the time is actually just positioning. It's making sure that my skeletal mages actually make it to a place where they can attack the enemies. Because I too often get stuck somewhere. They get stuck somewhere. That is not conducive to the ones who should be doing the damage, which is kind of annoying. Alright. Okay, so I need to... Ooh. Let's see what that is. Okay, upgrade, 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 upgrade. There we go. I need to get those up to 75 for the next level, I think, right? Yeah, I think that's what it is. I want to see, is this one here somewhere? If I do that, hey, that works. That hasn't worked in a while, so maybe I can keep that up for a little bit. Yeah, so, okay, let's see. I think both my rings are pretty good. Oh, actually, I think that was another difference. I was running... what ring was I running? Was it this one? No. Yeah. So I was still running this ring for some time, and then one of the suggestions that I saw on the builds was actually to run a second ring with more skeletal mage damage, extra attack speed and cooldown, and I'm guessing the cooldown reduction is so that I can use my ult more often, but then imprinting it with, I already had reanimation, no, I already had service and sacrifice, so imprinting it with reanimation. And then the reason for not running the two-handed scythe anymore, where's the two-handed scythe I was running, this one, is because even though I can imprint this with just one thing, let's just quickly hide the camera. No, not that one. There we go. So this one had service and sacrifice on originally. Oh, that's what it was. I had service and sacrifice on the weapon, and then a reanimation on the ring. So now I've got service and sacrifice on the other ring, so that I can do both of the damned for the increased shadow damage, as well as grasping veins, which gives the corpse tendrils. So the Ring of Mendel had the extra skeletal mage mastery and the summon attack speed. I think the combination of all the others actually ended up upping the DPS quite significantly, and I feel like it also upped my survivability, but I'm not sure why it would do that. Not with the gear that I have at the moment. So, yeah, I think looking at these rings, neither of these are better than what I have. I don't think this focus is better than the shield. I think one of them... it could... Oh, it's the damage reduction on the shield. Yeah, obvious. So block chance and blocked damage reduction and damage reduction, obviously. Obviously that'll improve survivability. Yeah, I'm just an idiot. Okay. Let's see, these boots, I do want intelligence, max life, movement speed, corpse skills. So none of those look good. That doesn't look any good. Maximum life, damage reduction, cooldown reduction, not gonna help me, definitely not gonna help me. Healing, resource, nope, there's too many things that I need to re-roll. This just isn't good enough. And what makes this one special? Darkness skills, chill enemies every 800 times you damage enemies with darkness skill. All nearby enemies are feared. Seconds before freezing for 3 more. Interesting. Interesting. +4 to darkness skills. I'm just going to put this one in my stash. That might be an interesting one to experiment with a little bit. Maybe not right now, but that's interesting. That's really interesting. So you can't change anything on these. I can't put anything on it. So maybe I just max it out. Because I do have... And then let's see what else I can do. +8 to darkness skills. So now the question is, what does an extra +8 to darkness skills give me? Because my main darkness skill is this one, Blight, which is at 5 shadow damage. But my mages also do shadow damage because of something that I have. Shadow, because I've got skeletal mages shadow. So they do, but that I don't know if that doesn't count as a shadow skill, does it? Raise skeleton. It just says shadow damage, but it says minion summon. So I don't think it's a core darkness. Darkness. Yeah, I don't think it counts as a darkness skill. So that probably doesn't make a massive difference. So what else do I use that counts as a darkness skill? My Soul Rift is a darkness skill. Bloodwave? I'm not using Bloodwave at the moment. So I'm trying to figure out... Also, welcome to the chat. What's it? Vendetta. I'm trying to think if this will fit into my current build without tweaking it too much. Just because it's not one that I've picked up before. Oops. And I kind of like the idea of all that extra shadow damage, but I'm wondering if the +8 to darkness makes more sense than it's lucky hit though, and I don't think my lucky hit percentage is so high. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one just in my stash. I'm probably not gonna experiment with it tonight, but so Bloodless Unique is for the Bloodwave build. Isn't normally, yes, which is not the one that I'm running. I am running the Shadow Mages, but I am curious if it can make a difference to this build as well. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Just because this one does also do a lot of shadow damage with the mages, and I like trying slightly off meta things occasionally. I was saying earlier that I kind of lucked into this build before I knew it was a meta build. But yeah, right now I'm mainly focused on actually just trying to get my glyphs up a bit, my glyph levels up. So I'm just running lower, but I'm also dealing... I need to keep my doors open because it's really hot. And now I have a bunch of like beetles flying around because they are enjoying the light of the TV. So... should everyone run Shadow Blight as meta? Yeah, I'm actually not sure myself. I haven't looked at what the tier ratings are, so I don't actually know what they are. So I'm from South Africa, and I'm in the Western Cape, and we have these little brown beetles that enjoy flying around in the summer and annoying the crap out of people. Get off my desk. Yeah, man. Yeah, you were saying the Shadow Blight. I haven't looked at the tier lists in quite some time. So I don't actually know. -5. Oof. Yeah. No. We are... like -5 Fahrenheit, I'm guessing, if you're saying in the States. Right? I mean, that's still cold, though. That's really cold still. So I have... ooh. What's going on? What's going on? No! I have some friends in Atlanta who were just dealing with that massive ice storm that they had, which ended up not being quite as bad as the news was saying. Yeah, -20 C. Yeah, that's nice and cold. So for us today, it was 27 Celsius. I think we're still at about 21 Celsius. So that's, what's it, roughly 70 something Fahrenheit. And it's 9 o'clock at night. So frozen and won't melt. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, because the ice is the problem, right? The ice is the one, because if it's on the roads, you can't really drive on it. And you can't just push it out of the way like you can with snow. That's not something that we deal with really in South Africa, so it's not something I've got a lot of experience with. I'm just going off what my friends tell me. Have I got... Yeah, I've got all the Belial's eyes, that's fine. I can just try and finish up. What's the time on this? I'm still trying to keep these runs under 5 minutes as far as possible, but I keep having these massive lag spikes. Luckily this run hasn't done one, but the last run I really thought I was going to disconnect. No, I hate these little spiky things. Okay. No, run. So, you say frozen and everything is frozen and won't melt. I take it you're also in that side of the states where the storms were happening?
Sanctuary is my canvas. Your underestimation will be your demise.
Tribute of the Titans. Which one is that? Radiance, Andorial, Refinement, oh. Lay boss. What's nah. Okay, not too worried about that. Okay, let's see. Anything super interesting? Oh, and now the chat's kind of in the way, right? Let's just move chat that side quickly. So that I can have a look. That's not better than anything I have. That's not gonna help me. Dodge chance, life per second. No, too many things I need to reroll. That's not gonna help, that's not gonna help, that's not gonna help. Healing received. Nope, too many things to reroll. North of Atlanta. How big was the storm? Like, how much of that like side of the states was actually hit by this? Because I know bugs, leave me alone. Yeah, because I know, like, how... I know, I believe the warning was for most of Georgia, at least. But I'm guessing it was bigger than that. Oh. Okay, that's pretty big. That's a big storm. Wait. Oh, wait. So, you guys are, I think, 6 hours behind us. For some reason, my brain was thinking you guys were in the future now. I was like thinking, wait, what time is it? Like, but no, this is like your afternoon still, right? Sorry, that was just a random brain fart, because I don't know. So one of the reasons I have a few friends that are in Atlanta, and then also one of the companies that I do consulting for is also there. So I know a lot of people in that area, and then I also have some of my old friends that moved to the US 13 years ago, but they're California. So opposite sides. Come on. Ugh. My skeletal mages seem to be getting stuck a lot. Whoa, hello. That's not what I wanted. Like, positioning is extremely important with this build, and if those guys keep getting stuck like that... most of the west didn't get any of the storm, or south central. Okay. Have I been to the States? Yes. Once we went to Reading for my wife for summer school, and then we went to San Francisco because I wanted to check out what Silicon Valley is like, and also just wait, hang on, there we go. I wanted to see Silicon Valley because I'm in tech, in IT. So it's just like always been one of those things that I wanted to do. And I wanted to go to the Computer History Museum as well. So we spent a couple of weeks there. Went to see my friends in Los Angeles as well. But yeah, that's the only time I've been there. I do still want to go back though. There's a couple more places that I want to go visit. I really want to see Seattle. Don't know why. Just always had a fascination with it. And then, why is this guy not taking any damage? What am I missing? Come on. He's shielded. Why is he shielded? What am I missing? There we go. Thank you. Yeah, so Seattle is someplace that I still really want to see. My brother really wants to go to New York. That's what I learned when we went to San Francisco, is that it is way more metropolis than I am comfortable with. We rented a car for the trip that we did while we were there. And I think I made one, we went to the hotel and then one extra trip with a car, and I decided, nope, I cannot deal with this traffic. I am going to Uber everywhere. If I can't walk or Uber, I'm not going. I couldn't deal with the traffic, and yeah. So, but I suppose going to a city like New York, at least there you can also Uber and taxi and do things everywhere, so maybe it's not that bad. I don't know.
You want to meet darkness and death. I will introduce you. What? How can this be?
Okay, now the chat is in the way and on the other side again. I can probably move it back. Let's have a look at the gear first. Ooh, okay, this is nowhere near as good as the one that I have at the moment. Okay, not gonna worry about that, not gonna worry about that, all that. Is this better than... No, so I want a legendary sword because it gives the critical strike damage. I don't want a mace with overpower. Yeah, that's right. I'll keep this one for now just so that I can compare it with the other one that I got earlier. I might need to start looking at trying some other builds at some point, because I do want to start trying to push the pit a little bit at some point. Right now I just need to replace a bunch of my shoddy gear to see how far this build will get me, because I'm quite comfortable with this build at the moment. Let's see now. So you asked me about the States now. Have you ever been to South Africa? Any interesting events? Maybe there's something else that I can do. Never left the US. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty fair. I know a lot of people in South Africa who haven't even left their province. Not leaving your country isn't too strange. I was lucky that I could do the trip to the US, mostly because my work allowed me to do things remotely, and because half the office was already in the US. It kind of aligned time zones a little bit, so they didn't really mind, which made it easy, because otherwise my wife would have had to go by herself. Which would have sucked a little. So yeah, very fortunate that I could make that work. The only other trip I've ever done overseas was to the UK for one of my oldest friends' weddings, and I could only do that one because my parents paid for it. So yeah. Let's go do the invasion a little bit. Maybe I can at least just go get the Tree of Whisper reward thingy. Wait. Do we have? No, I don't actually think I'm gonna get Grim Favors. Oh, 5 Grim Favors. Yeah. No, I am gonna get it. Okay, no, I thought so. The thing that I find with the world events at the moment, though, is I don't actually contribute anything. If there is one Crusader in the group, they do all the work. How big South Africa is going to the States is basically... Yeah. You can fit a couple of tens of South Africas into the US. So it's a very, very tiny country in comparison. I remember having this conversation with someone one day because I was trying to figure out what state, like what what state is the closest in size to South Africa, but I actually can't remember what the answer was. I'll have to look that up again. I feel like I'm lagging again. I'm not doing anything. So, while my guys just sit here, let's go Alaska or Texas. Yeah, Alaska maybe, that sounds vaguely familiar. It could be, but yeah. I do think we pack more people into the same space. I'm not actually sure about that either, now that I think about it. But like you can do a trip from Cape Town to Johannesburg, which is like this one of the southernmost cities, and then almost to the north. Not quite. You can do in 14 hours with a car. And you can probably drive through the whole of South Africa in closer to 18. So, like, that gives an idea of how big it is. Yeah. Oh. So many items. Okay. Oh, and I have too many items. Perfect. 15 hours just to drive across Texas. Yeah, then that's probably a good comparison. So, actually, Texas is another place that I do want to go to as well. And that's because, so one of my friends in the States is married to a guy from Texas. And he always goes on about how good Texan barbecue is. So, I'll check if I've got a prankster one. I have been trying to get a prankster one, like, this whole season. It's one of the reasons why I have the benefits, the buffs for that. So let's see, hidden armory, equipment, hidden armory, ovals, gem, ovals, armory. We can junk that, we can junk that, we can junk that, we can junk that. Okay, nothing super useful. I'm just gonna junk all of those. Watch out for snakes and scorpions. I gotta do that here as well. So... like we don't have scorpions where I live as much, but if you just go slightly more north, you will get them. Get a lot of them, but we do have snakes here as well. Mostly harmless ones in the garden. They usually come and just eat the frogs. But there are a couple of scary ones as well. I don't want to make that too small. Man, the chat's getting a bit big now. Delete all except Roderick, Treasure, and Mythic Prankster. Yeah, I was keeping... I probably don't need to keep the ovals anymore because I've actually got more than enough of them now. Yes, we do have the Mamba over here. I have never seen one. I've been very fortunate in that regard. I do have a friend that found one in the back of his pickup once. But he lives more towards the desert. So not in my town, just a friend that I know from far away. But yeah, so we've got cobras and mambas, which can all be. The cobras are probably more prominent around these areas. Yeah, so what I was saying is I've been keeping the hidden armory because I've been because I was farming for weapons, but I probably don't need them anymore. Same with equipment as well. Like I actually probably don't need those. The tiger rattlesnake. Oh, that doesn't sound like fun. I'm trying to remember if we have rattlesnakes as well. Yeah. Tiger rattlesnake. I don't think I've seen one of those before. Gems I can do. I don't need opals anymore. Yeah, I can probably just get rid of all of those. Where is the what town am I in? Where's the person I'm looking for? Here we go.
Don't be a stranger. Come back soon.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that is true. Mambas, cobras are definitely apex predators. Yeah. What else can I quickly do for some more grim favors? Something that's easy. I don't have a party for that, so I'm not going to worry about that one. I can maybe try and go slay Duriel. But that's in the PvP area. I mean, I can still go and do it, that's fine. Hopefully somebody is close to having that spawned and I can just quickly come in and grab the... just grab a kill. Let's see. The chat is a little bit in the way, so I can't actually see how many hearts I have. Let's just turn that off a bit, just so that I can see. Oh, I've got enough hearts to summon Duriel myself. Eh, cool. I can do that. Oh, loot's just exploding at the moment. Yeah, I tried resizing it, but then I think it gets a little too small. Then the text isn't nice and readable. Let's see, what does that look like? It feels a little tiny. This is always one of the big issues that I have trying to get my layout to work for different games. Ah, leave me alone, bugs. Like trying to get the layout to work for the different games that I play, because I mainly play Diablo 4 and Monster Hunter Wilds at the moment, and they both have very different layouts. But then I also like trying new things. So like one of my next streams I want to try out Where Winds Meet, because that looks like a lot of fun. And just like getting a layout, like I need to chop and change things the whole time. It's actually kind of annoying. Like sometimes I'll just turn everything off and just say, screw it. How do I do it with the bugs? Well, 40 years of practice, I suppose. And it's just one of those things that you deal with when you're in South Africa. I suppose if you're in like a city, it's probably not as bad. Like we have a lot of mosquitoes and like beetles and things that come in here. So, and we also have a wasp problem at the moment, which is kind of annoying. I think they've made a nest in the roof. Where Wind's Meat is super fun. A lot of stuff is time gated. I mean, I don't mind that too much. Like I don't actually get a lot of time to game at the moment, so I try to do my stream once a week, which is my little treat to myself to play what I want. And it forces me to switch off from like work and stuff, which is nice. It gives me a chance to interact and talk to new people, which I really enjoy. Yeah, I don't have enough to summon him again, but I got the stuff, so I can actually just go to the Tree of Whispers now. That's actually all I was trying to do. Oh, somebody else summoned him. That's what's going on. Okay. If I'm trying to see if there's there's a Crusader. Crusaders just absolutely melt everything. Or Paladin. Sorry, it's a Paladin in this game. Sorry. Because I don't play as much, I haven't actually purchased the expansion yet, so I don't have access to the Paladin. It's also not the type of class that I typically enjoy playing. But man, it's hilarious. Every time I take part in any kind of overworld event, like if there's one or two Paladins, like everything just disappears off the screen. I am literally just standing here. I'm like hands off the controller. I don't need to do anything. Pretty fun and OP. Yeah. Yes, I can see that. In all of these types of ARPGs, I usually, if there is a pet class, I usually play a pet class. So anything with a necromancer where I can be a minion master, absolutely love it. And then, barring that, I tend to usually go for magic classes. So, like the sorcerer or wizard in this, and then like in games like Guild Wars, I'll do necromancer, elementalist. Like that's just usually my go-to. My brother is more the paladin crusader. He played paladin in WoW as well, and he played warrior ranger in Guild Wars. Ball lightning sorcerer in an earlier season, hit 135 pit. That's not bad. That's pretty good. What was that pop-up? I think I've got rewards at Hadril? What's that dude's name? 135 pit, yeah. So this is the first season that I've actually been kind of like playing semi-seriously. Like I really had a rough time getting into the previous seasons. The loop just didn't quite do it for me. This is the first time that I've completed the season journey, so the first time that I've actually hit 75 at all. And I do still want to spend some time at some point to see if I can... Ooh, hang on, I'm dropping frames. What's going on? What's going on? I also played in... I feel like season 8 and 10 were the last two that I did. So I started with 10. I didn't actually even get my character to max level with that one. I just... yeah, it just didn't click with me. But yeah, I do want to see... this season is still going to run for a while, I believe. So I'll probably see if I can start pit pushing a little bit at some point. I don't expect I'll get up to that. I'll probably be lucky if I can hit 100, but we'll have to see. I'm just gonna give this a second to rest while I try and do some other things, because I'm trying to figure out collection of one-handed weapons. The stream seems to be dropping a lot of frames at the moment, and I'm not sure why it's doing that. And speed test is looking pretty good. It's not measuring packet loss. Maybe there was just too much going on, and the encoding wasn't right. Weird. Usually when this starts happening, it's a sign that I need to stop. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about these things not too much now. I'll clean that up a little bit later. It says, aha, season rewards. Okay. And then what else? So you said you're playing Paladin now. How has your experience of season 11 been? Because I think they've fixed a lot of what was annoying me in the previous seasons. This is definitely the most Diablo 4 I've played since it released. Like, without a doubt. What did I want to do? What was I looking for now? I don't think there's anything here that I need to do. They say unclaimed rewards, but I've claimed everything, right? Yeah, this one is definitely... They've nailed something. I'm not quite sure what it is that they changed. Like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but they've nailed the gameplay loop a bit more. Like, I finish one thing, and then I'm like, ooh, but now I just want to go do this one other thing quickly. And like, that's kind of the thing that I'm just finding more and more. You think it's just glitched? Okay. Yeah, because every time I go into my map, it keeps telling me I've got season rank awards. But I think I got a pop-up saying I need to go to... wait, I can just use the item, right? I think this guy's got more rewards for me as well. Whoa, okay. I am definitely lagging. No, I thought... Oh, yeah. There we go. I saw. All the season challenges done. The ones on the right side. I thought so. So that's completed. That one is completed and claimed. This one is completed and claimed, completed and claimed, completed and claimed, completed and claimed, completed and claimed. Yeah. Pretty sure they're all done. Unless I'm missing something. Yeah, if I just hide the chat again. They've all got check marks on them. So I think I've got all of them. I've used all the season's blessings. So I definitely collected all of the smoldering ashes. Yeah, no, I'm guessing it's just glitched. That's fine though. And then he gave me stuff now as well. Okay, so ooh. Let's see. Intelligence, maximum life. Life on hit and vulnerable damage. Yeah, okay, no, I don't think it's too many things that I need to re-roll. So I don't think that's gonna work. It's probably not gonna be better than what I have. I wonder if this 100% summon damage is gonna be more useful than the critical strike damage. What is my critical strike chance at the moment? $89 and 800. The critical strike damage is probably more useful than summon damage at this point. Life on hit, vulnerable. Yeah, I don't think any of these are going to help me. Maximum life, that's damage over time. Resource cost reduction. Again, too many things that I need to re-roll to make that useful. And I can only re-roll one of them. So, not gonna help. Attacks, vulnerable. That's a wand. Why did I think that's a sword? Let's see. No. Again, too many things just not clicking. Wait. Yeah, no. That's fine. Oh, also not. Let's just go salvage these. And then I can quickly open the others. Okay. Nope. Intelligence life. Ooh, this critical strike damage, life on kill. I can re-roll the life on kill. Wait, if I re-roll that one, there's a chance that it won't be a lot of the rolls from the purveyor. My RNG in my entire life of gaming has never been fantastic. So I do use the purveyor a lot, but I wouldn't say that I get my best rolls from him. I'm gonna junk that. That one can be junked. Same. Healing, shadow resist. No, that's fine. Lucky hit, chance, fortify generation, poison resistance. Okay, so let's just junk the obvious ones that I can't use. Thorns, really? Are there any thorns builds in D4 that actually work? Like, does anybody use thorns? Okay, I don't think any of those are going to work so well. So let's junk those. And then what I am going to do with this one is I'm going to see if I can... this is reroll affix. So what do I want? Chance to restore. I think that's what I have on the other weapon now. It's chance to restore. So it's intelligence, max life, critical strike damage, and chance to restore primary. A bob, thorn bolt. Oh, that probably makes sense. Because I feel like I know that the Necromancer does have some items which does improve your thorns for your pets, but I've never seen... Alright, no, maybe not never, but I don't recall seeing any builds that actually use that mechanic. Or I'm confusing Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 again, which happens a lot because I'm playing both at the same time. So... yeah, so intelligence, critical strike, maximum life, life on kill. So if I can re-roll the life on kill into a good chance to restore. I mean, I can probably just do that for now in the interim, right? While I try and get the other one. I mean, they really want to give me damage. Not make vulnerable, it's not what I'm looking for. An out of season April Fool's joke? What now? What specifically? The rolls or something I said? I swear I'm just gonna keep the damage on and see how that does for the bolt. Press conference with Diablo? No, I don't remember. Refresh my memory. Oh, Diablo Immortal. Oh, right. That... I remember being very upset about Diablo Immortal, but I don't remember anything about the actual announcement. Oh my word, the game really wants me to have the damage. I'll have to go find the video and refresh my memory because I don't actually remember it. I mean, it's been a couple of years, right? I mean, I can go and look for the video now. At least then I can at least just watch it later. But just at least just go find the links along. What do I search for? Diablo Mortal announcement reaction. Is this a joke? It's even one of the recommendations. Oh, okay. 7 years ago. It's been a while. The first result is a 50-second video, and there's a 22-second video as well, but there's also a 20... No, that's not 20 minutes, that's 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Almost in tears. Yeah. No, look, I get that. I wasn't quite that upset, but I stood in line for a midnight release for my collector's edition of Diablo 3, and then got home and dealt with, what was it, error 27, I think was a thing, where you couldn't connect to the servers as well, for like the next 2 days. So yeah, I was also not exactly a happy camper back then. But yeah, I just quickly watched the video. I do remember it now that I saw it again. But 7 years, that's a long time. I have trouble remembering what I had for lunch today, so... Okay. Explain this to me. There are literally 5 options that I can get. I have gotten only these 4, and not the one that I actually want. After how many rolls have I done now? I've maxed out the cost, I think. Yeah, every single game that I play that has RNG is really good at not giving me what I need the most.
My magics await your return.
I'm just gonna do that for now then. That's fine. Why not? What I want to try and see... Yeah, so by re-rolling one of my maxed out stats, it's no longer maxed out. That's kind of annoying. That's a shame. I thought that might be how the game mechanic works, but I couldn't quite remember. The thing is, I kind of need to restore the 15% chance to restore 15 primary resource. That helps with this build because the skeletal mages are constantly draining my essence. So having a way of getting that essence back is super useful. I suppose plus 40% damage is also not nothing. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna max this one's quality out. I'm gonna do a sanctification. I'm gonna see what I get for it, and then I'll do a comparison and decide if I want to try and. So the mages spawn themselves. So that's just the thing with the necromancers is that your minions keep spawning, and then I sacrifice my other minions. This one gives me the skeletal mages as shadow, and then different buffs. So this one sacrifices my warriors and golem, and if I have skeletal mages, they get stronger if they keep attacking the same enemy. Then where's the other one of these? It's a chance to inflict. Yeah, sacrificing both skeletal warriors and golems grants additional skeletal mages for each minion sacrifice. So that gives me a whole bunch of extra mages. And then they become skeletal archmages if they attack the same enemy 25 times without dying. So that's kind of what this build is around. So you add as much like skeletal mage damage, skeletal mages attack twice to them as well, so there's skeletal mage damage. And then anything that increases your active minions or lets you have more active minions. So this one lets me increase the number of skeletal mages by an additional 2. And then they just keep coming back. As long as they are corpses, I can bring them back myself. The Book of the Dead, select the mages, they auto spawn during combat. Yeah. So they auto spawn. You can, if they die quickly and there are corpses around, you can quickly respawn them. When you hit max skeletal mages, you spawn a skeletal priest. The skeletal priest then buffs all of your minions and can buff you as well, and also does some healing to the minions as well. And then we have I can't remember if this build still uses it. I think once you swap out for the Shroud of False Death and the Hair of Perdition, you lose some of the buffs that made your skeletal priests stronger as well. But yeah, you're pretty much focused as much as you can on mage and mage damage. I can show the book as well. So let me just move chat again that way. Yeah, so you sacrifice your warriors, you sacrifice your golems, and then you just have shadow mages. Additional Shadow Bolt for every 3 attacks. 3% times increased damage for each active Shadow Mage. This one is useful because you've got all the other... because of the sacrifices that you do, you get the extra Skeletal Mages. And then you've got the +2 from one of your items as well. So this, because this is a multiplicative 3%, it stacks up quite nicely, because like how many? I have 12 mages, I think, at the moment. So yeah, that's where all the damage in this build comes from. Like all of it. Like if my mages aren't there, I do literally nothing and I just die. So what I want to, actually, you know what, I need to, what does this one have on? This is, I'm just gonna hide chat quickly while I try and sort this out. So this one has Of the Damned. So I'm just gonna get, that's here. Just imprint that quickly as well. And then the other one is, I've already re-rolled all of that, so I'm not going to worry about re-rolling that. I've already got a socket on this one. There's nothing else that I need to do. Yeah, I just need to increase the quality on this now.
Here's a one welcome to my home away from
So this mechanic I missed when I started playing this season, because this is the season where they rework the things. I misunderstood this masterwork affix thing, and I still have some of my items on here that were sanctified before I knew I had to do this, which is kind of annoying, and that's why I'm slowly trying to redo a lot of my gear. What did I sanctify on this one? Or masterwork, sorry. What did I masterwork on this one? The rework is better, yeah. Yeah, no. I need to add chance of skeletal mage. I never did that. That's the thing that I'm missing here. I need to do chance of skeletal mage to cost twice. I still need to do that. 35. What's the max that this can go? I can't remember now. 20. So I actually, but actually I got a good roll on that. No. No, I've got plus 25 quality already applied, so now I don't actually know what the base stat is. But I do think, I think that's fine. And then I actually think what I did for the other weapon, yeah, because this is now higher than what my other one is. So I think what I did with the other one, critical strike, damage, critical strike, damage. I think what I actually did the masterwork on the skeletal mage damage. Now I've got it on the critical strike damage. I'm going to try it that way. I want to see if that makes a massive difference. So I'm going to sanctify it in this state. And hope for the best. New legendary power added. Skills deal up to 21% increased damage based on your available primary resource when you cast. That does not help me at all because my mages are constantly draining. My primary resource. And this weapon now has the plus damage, not the restore primary resource. Yep. Yep. Yeah, so that's pretty much as terrible as that could have gone, I suppose. I'm trying to remember what the thing is that actually, what's the ability that drains my shadow damage, increased crit strike, stance, increased damage while alive. Mages take less damage and deal increased damage. There we go. While you have active minions, your summons deal increased damage, but each minion drains 3 essence from you per second. And it's 3 essence for each of my 12 minions. So that goes pretty quickly. So I'm constantly low. That's why and I need my essence to cast my blight, which gives me a massive damage boost to enemies. Okay, so this one is gonna go into the stash for now. It's got much higher crit strike damage and better skeletal mage. Attacks to cost twice. I mean, it might still have a net positive effect, but I am losing 82 intelligence as well. And 360 maximum life. No, I think the one I have is better. Okay, so it's getting very close to when I need to stop, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to go do one more pit run and maybe do something a bit higher than I usually. I think 80 is the next one that I want to try and get through. So I'm going to try and do 80, and I think that's going to be my last run for the evening before I clock out. So let's see how that goes. $80 might be too high for me. Let's see. I think I'm maxed out at 80 at the moment. 75 is the highest I've finished. So I'm gonna have to do 80 first and then see how it goes. This build at least is much better than the one that I'm currently running in Diablo 3. Where works great as long as I'm surrounded by a ton of enemies. But nope, I'm lagging again. Oh yeah, fun times. Another joy of living in South Africa. This is one of those really interesting things because most of the servers that we have to play on are usually either in the EU or in the US, and it's not uncommon to have around 200 milliseconds of lag. Like that's normal. That's like having 185 is like a good day. And you kind of get used to playing that way, and you learn to adapt to it. But then when you play with people and they find out that's what you're playing on, they freak out. I remember when me and one of my best friends, we were still playing a lot of World of Warcraft. Like he would play a healer in dungeons. He'll be playing with 200 lag, 200 ping, and like still healing fine. Nobody would die, but the minute they find out, they just got high latency. They just freak out. That's just like, I mean, why? Come on, like we've been doing fine this whole time. Like what changed? It sounds unfair. It sometimes feels unfair, but this is one of the interesting things that I find is I wasn't looking at what I was doing. Like I said, the thing is that you end up adapting to it. It does kind of put you. It kind of handicaps you for kind of like what your ceiling is that you're gonna hit if you do play ranked. Like if that is important to you, you're probably gonna hit a ceiling at some point. Just because, I mean, when you get to the extremely high levels of play, then reaction time matters, and if you've got additional latency, it's a problem. But then when you get those players onto an international stage and they play in an area where they don't have to deal with this, the interesting thing that happens then is they first need to unlearn a bunch of like these adaptations that they made to their way of playing, because they don't need to compensate for it anymore. But then as soon as they figure that out, they just slay. Like, they just do so good. And I've seen this with a lot of pro Counter-Strike players, especially. Oh, nope. I had no more dodges left. That wasn't great. I'm running the wrong way. I need one more of these. The real unfair bit, in my opinion, is actually that AWS and Azure, and I think Google Cloud, all actually have servers in South Africa. Like, there's actually very little reason for anybody who hosts their game online or has an online-only game to not have a server in South Africa, other than that it's probably pretty expensive. But like, we could have local servers, but it's just not a priority for the game companies. So that's the bit that's unfair. I can deal with the lag. I'm never going to be a pro gamer anyway, so it's fine. Come on. Come on. What's going on now? Yeah, I'm definitely having some lag because I can... I'm still ahead of the timer, so that's fine though. You know what I did do? I forgot to go and repair my gear before I did this run. Which was probably not very smart. Yeah, thanks for joining and thanks for chatting. It was really fun. Enjoy the walk with the dog. I hope you have a lovely evening further. Take care. Come on. Okay, so let's see now. How far? Yeah, I'm still ahead in the run. So that's still fine. Where are my mages? Why are they getting stuck in these little corridors? Nope. Annoying spikes, annoying spikes, annoying spikes. Yay! Okay, Belial awaits you. Let's go. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that I breezed through this, but it was fine. It was not as hard as I thought it would be. Oh, I don't have my... Oh dear. That's gonna be interesting, because I don't have my abilities up now. There we go. Nice. Awesome. Cool. That went well. So that was pit 80. That went better than I expected. I still think my survivability is a bit low, so I definitely need to see if I can up that a little bit somehow. Whoa. Yep. No, that was lag. That was me rubber banding. Fun time. All right, but yeah, with that, I think that's probably a good time to end it. We're getting to just about the time that I usually need to end my streams. I'm still sitting here in the dark with all the doors open just to cool down a little bit, and it's actually starting to get a little bit scary now, because that's not something that you do in South Africa. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for chatting, if you were here. It was really good just to actually have a nice relaxing stream for a little bit. Other than the lag, I'm glad that I didn't have as many technical issues this time. So it was just nice and fun. Just chill. Exactly what I wanted for my stream. So thanks so much. Thank you so much for joining. And I hope to catch you all again in the next one. Cool. Goodbye.